4 out of 5 GOP presidential contenders attack Mitt Romney for his private sector work at Bain Capital in the leveraged buyout business. Does their rhetoric take a page from the Occupy Wall Street movement? Greedy fat cat grows rich by firing innocent workers and looting their companies. I'm PJTV's Scott Ott, joined now by Bill Whittle and Stephen Green. Men, a political action committee backed by a big Gingrich supporters released a 28-minute fright flick about Romney at Bain. Take a look.
This film will highlight just 4 of Romney's many targets, 4 businesses, and the thousands of employees who work there.
And that hurt so bad to leave my home because of one man that's got 15 homes.
Now, Bill, the documentary uses all the visual, auditory, and emotional tools of the trade to paint Romney as an evil capitalist. Will this really sell in a GOP primary?
Mitt Romney is my least favorite candidate of the modern era, but what Newt Gingrich is doing here is inexcusable, disgusting, ridiculous, and this is why we're going to lose this election. This kind of thing is put out by Barack Obama to generate race war and class war in the sense that he fired me, but he's got 15 houses and I only have 1. Yeah, Mitt Romney came to town, ladies, so that he could deprive you of your house so that he could have 16 houses. Now, for Newt Gingrich to be behind something like this and provide this kind of ammunition in the general elections beyond my imagining. But things are proceeding exactly as I have foreseen, and I don't like what I've foreseen.
Well, not just Gingrich, but Huntsman, not Santorum rather, but Perry and Paul as well. But Newt's taken the lead. Steve, Rick Santorum's the only one not slamming Romney about his experience at Bain. Can you really get inside the heads of these other 4 guys? I mean, what are they thinking?
It is desperation. This is desperate acts of desperate men. And you know what? You know what I just realized? To make these attacks, none of these candidates you just mentioned, none of them has any core value regarding economic liberty. There's no line they won't cross to take down another Republican. There's no decency. And if they have any kind of fundamental understanding of free markets or of finance, they will throw it all away. They'll just skip right over to try and gain a temporary advantage in New Hampshire. It's embarrassing. Ed Morrissey, yesterday on Twitter, he said he couldn't vote in a primary for any candidate, any GOP candidate who attacks capitalism. You know what? Well said, Ed Morrissey, and none of us should. I'm steamed on this one.
Yeah, the term career politician comes to mind. Well, if you believe the pundits, Romney's not doing himself any favors with remarks like these. Take a look.
I know what it's like to worry whether you're going to get fired. There were a couple of times I wondered whether I was going to get a pink slip.
I want individuals to have their own insurance. That means the insurance company will have an incentive to keep you healthy. It also means that if you don't like what they do, you can fire them. I like being able to fire people who provide services to me.
Now, Bill, one of the things I love about PJTV is we actually played that second quote in context so you could see what he was talking about. But, you know, clearly he hasn't always been a CEO, so maybe he did worry about getting a pink slip at some point. And he was talking about protecting choice in free markets for insurance, not his love of firing people. But that didn't stop his rivals from piling on, taking these quotes out of context. Is all fair in love, war, and politics?
No, it's not. And this is why we're going to lose this election, because we are letting the cool kids tell us that what we believe is wrong, and we believe that it's wrong. Of course you should fire people who provide you goods and services. That's the essential component of being free. That's the entire idea of a free market, is that if you do not like the quality of the services that are being provided to you, you terminate that provider's contract and you get services provided to you in a fashion that you like. This is the exact opposite of the big state living hell that Barack Obama wants for everybody. But Mitt Romney will not have the common sense to stand up and say this. He's going to bow his head and say, oh, I didn't mean it about firing people.
Bill Whittle is co-founder of DeclarationEntertainment.com. Well, Steve, aren't Romney's Republican assailants just helping the Obama campaign, which has already decided that income inequality is their theme?
Yeah, you know what? You mentioned career politicians. None of these guys deserve a career in politics or in office because as of Monday, Perry, Gingrich, Huntsman, Paul, they all volunteered to be unpaid stooges for Obama 2012. It's shameful. You know what? I'm done. Just cut me off right now.
Stephen Green hosts Hair of the Dog, the Weekend Blogs, and more right here on PJTV. Well, as far as we know, Mitt Romney conducted his business in a totally legal and ethical manner with a track record of success that drew both investors and companies willing to be bought out. The fact that 4 Republicans are attacking him does not bode well for the conservative movement's prospects in this election cycle, with the possible exception of Rick Santorum, who said simply, "I believe in the private sector." These Occupy GOP protesters, Gingrich, Perry, Huntsman, and Paul, have, however, done something I thought nearly impossible. They've inspired conservatives to defend Mitt Romney. For Bill Whittle, Steve Green, and the entire Trifecta crew here at PJTV.com, I'm Scott Ott.